Ria TV, True FM.
Say Ria TV, True FM.
On Ria TV.
Into True FM 96.1.
What's the meaning of the black barrier?
The black barrier is to tell Joseph Bakala if you don't organize yourself in a grateful manner, we'll take your later like
You might say what you want to say, but for us, we are here to make sure we build our country, that we are respected. We have donors that are coming because of the confidence.
Bulletin. The Ministry of Commerce and Industry, in collaboration with ECOWAS, has launched a platform aimed at providing the springboard for manufacturers in the formal and informal sectors in the country. The initiative is intended to allow the export of finished products and import raw materials in West Africa. The platform, codenamed the West Africa Competitive Observatory Marketing Platform, is sponsored by International Trade Center and the European Union. Speaking at the ceremony marking the opening of the roundtable discussion with manufacturers in Monrovia on Thursday, the Assistant Minister for Commerce and Trade, Edwin Battaforyen, encouraged businesses engaged in manufacturing products to take advantage of the platform. According to Minister Battaforyen, ECOWAS and EU wants Liberia manufacturers to export their goods to other countries and seek other business opportunities. For his part, the trade analyst at the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Alex Wu, explained that the platform will be used for manufacturers to extend their sale of their product in ECOWAS member states and procure raw materials in order to reduce production costs. A Liberian delegation headed by Gender, Children and Social Protection Ministry Minister Gwem Horst Kali is currently in Kigali, Rwanda on a pivotal study visit. According to a Gender Ministry update, the team is in Rwanda to learn from Rwanda global recognized success in advancing gender equality and women's empowering, with the aim to localize and apply the lessons learned to national programs in Liberia. This visit is part of Liberia's broader efforts to strengthen its institution capacity for addressing gender gaps, combating gender-based violence (GBV), and empowering women and girls. The Gender Ministry delegation is expected to learn from Rwanda to make immense progress in some of the gender issues Liberia is currently faced with. The trip is said to be sponsored by the Liberian Women Empowerment Project, a $44.6 million World Bank funded project. Criminal Court C. George Blamo-Dason on Wednesday denied prosecution request to subpoena an LRA to testify in the criminal trial involving 5 former officials from the Myean administration. Prosecuting lawyers, according to RC, a judicial correspondent, told the court that the communication sent to the Solicitor General from LRA boss indicated that properties performed through one Patrick Coleman to secure the temporary release of the former government officials has no identification, non-tax liability, and is not reflected in the 16 of the Liberia Revenue Authority LRA. The 2 separate properties in custom owned by Fatu Kamanda is located in Caldwell, New Jersey, while Rufus and Rufina Cole properties in Virginia has the value of $6 and $1.7 million United States dollars, contrary to defense lawyers' account. But during argument, defense lawyer Counselor Arthur Johnson told the court that praying for a subpoena on the LRA boss by prosecution lacks the legal basis for the conduct of the hearing for a motion of justification of surety as to the elements that constitute a legal bond. That's towards legal team maintained that the request from LRA boss is not supported by law and must therefore be denied. Based on the information that defense witness Patrick Coleman gave, prosecution said they would produce rebuttal witnesses to testify, but that was resisted by defense lawyers on ground that justification surety does not entertain rebuttal from prosecution as provided by law. The multi-actors platform on land reform in collaboration with the Liberia Land Authority has ended a one-day roundtable discussion with people with disabilities in Monrovia. Speaking at the end of the discussion, the Vice President of the National Union of Organizations of the Disabled, William Yasia stressed the need for the employment of more people with disabilities in public service in the country. According to Yasia, there is still discrimination against people with disability when it comes to employment and owning of land in the country. He remarks the program coordinator to the Organization for Women Empowerment, Arita Tokpa, cautioned the disabled on the importance of laws governing the land in Liberia. She assured people with disability that the laws on land do not discriminate against anybody in the country as it is believed in some quarters. The Liberia Maritime Authority has disclosed the conduct of the International Maritime Organization member status audit scheme in Liberia beginning 25 November to the 2nd of December 2024. The SSR, which started in the United States, is a Trinity obligation aimed at promoting the consistent and effective implementation of the applicable International Maritime Organization instrument in assisting member states to improve their capacity while contributing to the enhancement of global performance. The audit, according to a release, is not a financial audit but a system audit that will assess the Liberia Maritime Program to know how those conventions were signed, demonstrated, and implemented. The auditors will look at Liberia flag state, port state, and coastal state regimes in context of how to ensure ships' safety, pollution prevention, and crew working conditions on board Liberian flag vessel, coastal state component, inspection, and detention of foreign ships. The International Maritime Organization auditor will spearhead this audit. Montserrat County Senator Darius Dillon has read in plenary, seeking their endorsement to set the Ministry of Labor to address the issues of employment permit to non-Liberians. Senator Dillon, in his communication to the Senate, believes that the Minister of Labor is implementing the mandate against the labor law. Senator Dillon said the Act violates Chapter 7, Section 7.1 and Chapter 44, Section 45.9 of the Decent Work Act relative to the issues of work permit to aliens, foreigner, and non-Liberian. Senator Dillon added that although providing work permit is contributing to the national budget, but the absence of employment of qualified Liberians is troubling. The communication was received by plenary and recommendations were made for discussion next Tuesday. The newly appointed Liberian Drugs Enforcement Agency Director General has attributed the huge increment of drugs activities to political interference in the power of drug traffickers in the country. Anthony Sewell, appearing before the Senate for confirmation, said once those key areas are strengthened, there will be total decline in drugs activities across the country. He emphasized the need to restructure the entire LDEA in order to maintain international best practices, citing it is one of his top priorities once confirmed by the Liberian Senate. Sewell also vowed not to dismiss any LDEA officer who entered the agency without the proper channel. Instead, institute measures that will keep them well equipped to fight drugs in the country. Sewell showed that upon his confirmation by the Senate, he will work with all stakeholders in making sure the drugs law can fully be implemented. During the confirmation hearing, the acting LDA director was questioned by Grand Judy County Senator Thomas Yaya Nimblin over his qualification to fight drugs in the country. Bapolu County Senator Boto Conan has complained to plenary over the high increment in the prices of commodities on the Liberian market. According to Senator Conan, the recent increment in the prices of commodities with drastic reduction in the U.S. rate requires immediate clarity by the Ministry of Commerce. Senator Conan said the Senate needs to question the acting Commerce Minister as to what mechanism should be put into place to stabilizing the rate on the local market. According to her, the situation is causing intense hardship on the ordinary citizens, especially petty traders. She made a statement Thursday during the Senate session. Meanwhile, after deliberation, the Senate instructed the Senate Committee on Commerce to look into the complaint filed by Senator Conan and report to plenary next Thursday. In a controversial move, the majority bloc of the House of Representatives has removed Speaker Fonati Kofa from his position. The majority members have been fighting for the past 6 weeks to remove the Speaker and finally made a decision following a report from a committee set up about 2 weeks ago to investigate the Speaker on complaints filed by 6 of his colleagues. The committee said during the course of the investigation, the Speaker refused to honor their citation and failed to show up for hearing into the allegations leveled against him. The complaints, among several counts, accused the Speaker of conflict of interest, corruption, and taking on electoral decision against the rules of the House. Following the reading of the complaint report on Thursday, November 21, 2024, the plenary of the majority bloc voted to remove the Speaker by declaring his seat vacant. They at the same time elected Representative Richard Cohn on a white ballot as the new Speaker. However, Cohn's election has been vehemently rejected by members of the Speaker Fonati Kofa bloc, who have described it as illegal. Representative Musa Belletti of Nema County District No. 7 is particularly termed the action of the majority bloc as disruption of Liberia's democratic process. The managing partners of ZEED advisor Anthony Ndakanti King Saki has described taxpayer as the backbone of any economic system. Madam Saki said citizens, especially students, are to be properly educated on the importance of individuals paying their lawful tax to national government for development purposes. Speaking Thursday as guest during the celebration of the National Students Tax Day as part of Taxpayer Appreciation Week, Madam Dekati Saki said when students were empowered through tax education, they become future taxpayers who understand their role in the ecosystem, thereby ensuring sustained revenue for national development. According to her, these empowered individuals are the billions of the countries that will celebrate in revenue, as the theme of this year's celebration indicates, moving to billions. The program was organized by the Liberia Revenue Authority in partnership with UC Lead Activity and the Ministry of Education, aimed at fostering tax education and empowering the next generation of their civil responsibility. Also speaking, UC Lead Activity Chief of Party George Ake emphasized the need for citizens to know their civil responsibilities. George Ake pledged his institution unwavering support to Liberia's quest to educating citizens on the importance of tax paying. The Liberia National Fire Service has certified 3 vendors for the purchases of the fire extinguishers in ongoing inspection. The LNFS has recently come under immense criticism for what was being described as illegal sales of fire extinguishers since the commencement of the vehicles and homes inspection. But speaking Thursday at a news conference in Monrovia, LNFS Executive Director Wasua Barville disclosed that Jigsaw, Monan, and Forever 21 have been certified by the institution for sale of durable fire extinguisher. According to him, the three entities follow the proper channel of the various fire extinguishers on the market. Director Wasua Bovia also disclosed that the Liberia National Fire Service will subsequently commence awareness on the use of the fire extinguisher across the country to avoid the reoccurrence of the fire outbreak experienced at the beginning of last year. And away from Liberia, now the BBC is reporting from the Zimbabwe that Zimbabwe lawmaker with Bruce on his head has been arrested in Zimbabwe. According to the BBC, the Zimbabwe authorities have said details will be followed in a subsequent newscast. We are taking a short break to be right back.
Ria TV, True FM.
Say Ria TV, True FM.
On Myean TV.
Truth FM 96.1.
What's the meaning of the black barrier?
The black barrier is to tell Joseph Bakala if you don't organize yourself in a respectful manner, we'll take your better level.
You might say what you want to say, but for us, we are here to make sure we build our country, that we are respected. We have donors that are coming because of the confidence.
Headlines. LDA Director General Designate Anthony Sewell attributes increase in drugs activities to political interference and the power of drugs traffickers in the country. Vows to rail Liberia of illicit drugs if confirmed. In a controversial decision, majority bloc of the House of Representatives removed Speaker and elect Representative Rachel Coon on what ballot as new Speaker of the House, as in battle Speaker Kofa challenged the decision. Criminal Court C. George Blamo Dixon denies prosecution request to subpoena LRA to testify in the criminal trial involving 5 former officials of the George Weah administration. And away from home, the BBC is reporting that a Zimbabwean lawmaker with a brunette on his hair has been arrested in Zimbabwe, Zambia authorities have said. Let's now bring you the voices of the news maker. The newly appointed Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agency Director General has attributed the huge increment of drugs activities to political interference and the power of drugs traffickers in the country. Anthony Sewell, appearing before the Senate for confirmation, said once those key areas are strengthened, there will be total decline in drugs activities across the country. He emphasized the need to restructure the entire LDA in order to maintain international best practices, certain it is one of its top priorities once confirmed by the Liberian Senate.
The political interference, due to local and other interference, and due to the power of the drug traffickers themselves trying to dislodge and find their way into our community. While we intend to immediately start working with other stakeholders upon our confirmation by this honorable committee, it is our hope to address drug abuse and illicit trafficking as a national public health emergency, as declared by the President of this Republic, His Excellency Dr. Edwin Battaforyen. The new structure that is so as to ensure that it meets international best practice standards. I have worked with international drug fighting organizations that be fought only locally. You have to have that international reputation, integrity, and you must trust it. That's the only way you can succeed. The restructuring of the DEA, I met DEA with a number of action agents. Professionally, when I was serving at the National Security Agency, when we talk about action agents, they have different interpretations and different definitions, professional, where the state actors cannot act and we want to act covertly that one is flawed action agent. But in this case, it's a different thing, which is unprofessional. I intend to erase that, not by dismissing them and not by canceling anybody. I'm not going to cause any political uproar. All of those who find themselves in this position, we will design a program that will incorporate them professionally and by international standards. That means you go through vetting, background investigation, and you go through drug screening. You can't be a drug fighter and at the same time drug abuser. This is internationally unacceptable. So I work as a Nigerian drug investigator with the U.S. DEA. I have to go through that. They want to make sure that you don't be an abuser and a fighter at the same time. This standard I am going to institute, and I will make sure it is adhered to and that agency will confirm. I can assure you that. I am honestly calling on you, the government of Liberia and our partners, Liberians, to collaborate with LGA by engaging this epidemic in a more patriotic, honest, and well-coordinated way. By that I mean we are not going to be taking drug users to jail or expect us to be beating people on the street. Yes, we know the situation is bad, but there are professional ways to go about it.
Bapolo County Senator Boto Collin has complained to plenary over the high increment in price of commodities on the Liberian market. According to Senator Collin, the recent increment in the price of commodities with drastic reduction in the U.S. rate requires immediate clarity by the Ministry of Commerce. Senator Collin said he sent a need to question the acting Commerce Minister as to what mechanism should be put into place to stabilize the rate on the local market.
on the market. I'm not talking about the tolls or whatsoever, but the market. The Liberian rate has dropped to 180. Then the US rate, we are talking about the prices have been increased. The business people, the importers don't want the petty traders to profit. In a sense, for the avocado oil, it was sold at the rate of $27. Now that the rate has dropped, they have increased it to $30. If they trap, the US residents are still, the people will make profit. And they don't want the people to make profit. There's a very serious issue. Almost all the essential commodities prices have gone up in US. So we want to know whether the prices are stable or anytime you can change prices on the market. It is serious to all that came from there, and we know the strain are in it. It is very serious. So I brought this to the attention of the August body. There is not a camera, but it is about seeing the welfare of our people. It is very serious. You cannot buy a bag of rice for $3,430 and get $100 profit in for the business. So it is time, at least for the commerce minister. I don't know whether she is confirmed now. If she is confirmed, we need to call them to come to and understand what's the problem on the market.
The voice of Bapolo County Senator Boto Connell. The Liberian National Fire Service has certified 3 vendors for the purchases of fire extinguishers in ongoing inspection. The NFS has of recent come under the immediate criticism for what was being described as illegal sales of fire extinguisher since the commencement of vehicles and home inspection. But speaking Thursday at the news conference in Monrovia, the executive director, Wasra Barfield, disclosed that Gesco, Monan, and Forever 21 have been certified by the institution for sale of durable fire extinguisher. The managing partners of Z8, Vice Anthony Dakonti King Saki, has described taxpayer as the backbone of any economic system. Madasaki says citizens, especially students, are to be properly educated on the importance of individuals paying their lawful tax to the national government for development purposes. Speaking Thursday as guest during the celebrations of the National Student Tax Day as part of Taxpayer Appreciation Week, Madam Dakonti Saki said when students are empowered through their tax education, they become future taxpayers who understand their role in the ecosystem, thereby ensuring sustained revenue for national development.
This year's inspiring team, moving to billions, celebrating taxpayers' impact, we are reminded of the collective role taxpayers play in driving national development. Tax education serves as a cornerstone of an economically vibrant and compliant society. So this topic, how tax education empowers students to become compliant citizens and spur economic growth, directly connects to the theme of this year, Moving to Billions, Celebrating Taxpayers' Impact. Moving to Billions highlights the transformative power of a thriving taxpayer base. Taxpayers are the backbone of economic systems, financing, infrastructure, public services, as well as innovation. But this journey begins with education. Let us for a short moment imagine a generation of students who understand how their contribution translates into roads, into hospitals and schools. That you all grow up and become adults who are tax compliant citizens, and through it all, you drive the expansion of a formal and diversified economy. We just envision you, what would that look like? When students are empowered through tax education, they become future taxpayers who understand their role in the society, ensuring sustained revenue for national development. These empowered individuals are the billions we celebrate. Billions in revenue, billions in opportunity, and billions in collective impact. Their compliance doesn't just generate income for the government. It sparks innovation, supports small businesses, and creates.
voice of Anthony Deputy King Saki. Also speaking, UC lead activity chief of party George Aki emphasized the need for citizens to know their civil responsibility. George pledged his institution unwavering support to Liberia's quest to educating citizens on the importance of paying their tax.
Points to take with you. 1. Understanding civic responsibility. As citizens, each of you has a vital role to play in building your community and your nation. Civic responsibility goes beyond individual success. It includes actions like voting, volunteering, and contributing to your community. And one of the most impactful ways, as the debater said, is fulfilling the responsibility by meeting your tax obligations. Paying taxes is more than a legal requirement. It is a cornerstone of civic duty. It reflects your commitment to the greater good and strengthens the foundation of the social contract that unites us all. As professionals, you will have the unique opportunity to drive positive change through your contributions to society. Point number 2, the role of taxes in society. It has been very explicitly explained before. You might wonder, why are taxes so crucial? Taxes are not merely an expense. They are the lifeblood of a nation. They fund essential services and infrastructure that we all depend on. And as said in the morning, these include education, supporting schools, healthcare, enabling the public to access health services, public safety, funding police, fire departments, emergency services, infrastructures, building roads, bridges, public transport, justice functions and services. When you pay taxes, you are paying and making an investment in your community and helping to sustain the services that create opportunities and improve quality of life for everyone. Number 3, the impact of your contribution. What does it do? Now imagine a society where everyone fulfills their tax responsibilities. Schools would be better resourced, healthcare system more accessible, and public services more efficient. Your contribution today, and as you progress in your careers, of course, will make a tangible difference. As your ensuring potential increases, so does your ability to influence positive change. Whether it is supporting initiatives in environmental sustainability, economic development, or social justice, your tax contributions become a means to drive the causes you believe in. Number 4, encouraging accountability and transparency. Remember, and it's always important to remember, that paying taxes is a two-way street. Along with fulfilling your civic duty, you have the right to demand accountability and transparency from your government. Understanding how tax revenues are spent and educating for their effective use are integral to being an informed and engaged citizen. In closing, I encourage you to embrace your civic responsibility with pride and purpose. Paying taxes is not just an obligation. It is an expression of your commitment to a brighter, more equitable future for everyone. You are the leaders and innovators of tomorrow. Through your contributions, you have the power to help shape a society where opportunities flourish for generations to come.
Montserrat County Senator Dawes Dillon has read in plenary seeking their endorsement to sought the Ministry of Labor to address the issues of employment permit to non-Liberian. Senator Dillon, in his communication to the Senate, believes that the Minister of Labor is implementing the mandate against the labor law. Senator Dillon said the Act violates Chapter 7, Section 7.1 and Chapter 44, Section 45.9 of the Decent Work Act relative to the issues of work permit to aliens, foreigner, and non-Liberian. Senator Dillon added that through providing work permit is contributing to the national budget, but the absence of employment of qualified Liberians is troubling. The communication was received by plenary and recommendations were made for discussion next Tuesday.
Report on request from Senator Abraham Dawes Dillon seeking the endorsement of plenary to cite the Minister of Labor to address the issuance of quote-unquote employment permits otherwise known as quote-unquote work permit, to non-Liberians. Senator Dillon, a member of the Senate Committee on Labor, took the stand and quoted Chapter 7, Section 7.1 and Chapter 44 and Section 45 by now respectively of the Decent Work Act relative to the issuance of work permits to aliens, foreigners, and or non-Liberians. The senator added that the Minister of Labor is not implementing the law to the benefits of Liberians that are qualified to occupy positions that are being usurped by alien work permits. He added that although the issuance of work permit is contributing to the national budget, but the absence of employment for our qualified citizens is troubling. The Labor Minister needs to throw up his efforts and take a stand in the defense of our unemployed citizens. Other members of the Senate spoke on the need to copy the models of countries within our sub-region that prioritize their citizens when it comes to employment. The minister read a memo from his office that seemed to address the concerns raised by the committee. He expressed his willingness to work with the Committee on Labor to ensure that the Decent Work Act is fully implemented and that the outcome be of benefit to the citizens of Liberia. Senator Dillon and other members of the Senate requested a full listing of work permits issued as per category to the committee for review. Consequently, the committee do hereby recommend the following. 1. A follow-up meeting with the minister be conducted on a regular basis to strengthen Senate oversight responsibilities. 2. The minister should submit by category the listing of all work permits issued to the Senate Committee on Labor for review. And 3. The minister should ensure the full implementation of the Decent Work Act as it relates to the issuance of work permits and employment of Nigerians.
The multi-actors platform on land reform in collaboration with the Liberia Land Authority has ended a one-day roundtable discussion with people with disability in Monrovia. Speaking at the end of the discussion, the Vice President of the National Union of Organizations of the Disabled, William Yasia, says the need for the employment of more people with disability in the public service in the country. According to Yasia, there is still discrimination against people with disabilities when it comes to employment and own of land in the country.
Government to give us that opportunity so that the National Union of Organizations can be able to go around the country to disseminate information to the members who are persons with disability in the length and breadth of Liberia. With that, we will be able to be inclusive or will be included in every activity. Well, my final message to the public and the listening audience is that persons with disability are citizens of Liberia. So every right that every human being in Liberia that have flesh and blood is the same way with persons with disability. So we should be inclusive in all aspects of Liberia, because anything that affects Liberia, it will affect us. Anything that affects Liberians, it will affect us. Despite of the fact that we are disabled or we have some forms of disability, it does not negate the fact that when something happens, it will not affect us. So we should be included in all activity like employment, every aspect of Liberia, of the government, we should be included into it, so that we can be able to fit in the society as others. We were able to know that there are 4 types of land, whereas in other instances, people just thought that only government and private land that we had. Well, right now we were able to know that there are customary land and other public lands, so that there are future land that's supposed to be used. So having learned all of those things, I would like to say this to the LLA, that is the Liberian Land Authority. Persons with disabilities need to be included, most especially when it comes to employment.
In remarks, the program coordinator of the Organization for Women Empowerment, Aritat, took percussion the disabled on the importance of laws governing land in Liberia. She assured people with disability that the laws on land do not discriminate against anybody in the country as it is believed in some parties. I bring you more development on the program News Desk. If you're just joining us, this is a reminder you listening to News Desk, 45 minutes of news all about Liberia, Africa, and our one global village. I bring you this development. The Ministry of Commerce and Industry, in collaboration with ECOWAS, have launched a platform aimed at providing the springboard for manufacturers in the formal and informal sectors in the country. The initiative is intended to allow the export of finished products and import raw materials in West Africa. The platform, codenamed the West Africa Competitive Observatory Marketing Platform, is sponsored by the International Trade Center and the European Union. Speaking at the ceremony marking the opening of the roundtable discussion with manufacturers in Monrovia on Thursday, the Assistant Minister for Commerce and Trade, Kelvin Matadi, encouraged businesses engaged in manufacturing products to take advantage of the platform. According to Minister Matadi, ECOWAS and EU wants Liberian manufacturers to export their goods to other countries and seek other business opportunities.
Today we begin a process that will lead to the country networking and showcasing their products and services with other African countries. I want to appreciate the International Trade Center RTC to the Wacom Observatory for the collaboration. The business matchmaking platform is a powerful tool that facilitates efficient and effective connection between businesses, helping them discover new opportunities and expand their reach. This tool is designed to facilitate exchanges between businesses across West Africa by connecting buyers and suppliers within the region, targeting businesses and business associations. The business matchmaking platform was developed in response to challenges identified in the 2022 RTC Business Versus Survey, conducted as part of the Made by Africa report, which found that suppliers and producers often do not know each other. The platform offers multiple ways for businesses to connect, including searching by product or service value chain and region, and using an integrated chat function with automatic translation between English, French, and Portuguese. Your active participation in today's discussion is crucial, and this is a collective endeavor. Each viewpoint enriches our understanding, and each suggestion helps redefine our approaches.
For his part, the trade analyst at the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Alex Wu, explained that the platform will be used for manufacturers to extend their sale of their product in ECOWAS member states and produce raw materials in order to reduce production costs.
West African Competitive Observatory Platform. So the intent of this platform is to create market opportunities for our manufacturers, those in the informal and formal sectors. So those that are into Liberian-made products, we have this challenge of advertising our business, getting our business to across the region and to other partners across the West African region. So the platform was created for that purpose, that those that are producing in Liberia can be uploaded on the platform so that their product can go worldwide in the region. The platform has three goals. The first goal is to create a value chain for producers in the region. So you can sit here and start a production here and continue the production in another region. Then also there for policymakers to use and also make decisions for member states or within member states. The last one there is it creates competitiveness among producers in the region. So this training is all about exposing them to the platform, setting the basis for its usage, and explaining to them the importance of them uploading their information on the platform. It will give them wider market space, opportunity to trade across West Africa. In 2022, RTC, the International Trade Center, conducted a survey in West Africa. And some of the participants in the survey indicated that
They don't know where to get the raw material they are using to produce their product. They don't know where to get the raw material from within the region. So that was one of the reasons for which the platform was developed. So when you are on the platform, you get to access products across the region. Raw materials that you're importing from China or from Asia or from other countries outside of the West African region can be found within West Africa. By using the platform, you will unearth most of the things that you are buying outside of the region.
The Liberia Maritime Authority has disclosed the conduct of the International Maritime Organization member states audit scheme in Liberia beginning 25 November to the 2nd of December 2024. The SSR, which started in the United States, is a Trinity obligation aimed at promoting the consistent and effective implementation of applicable international maritime organization instrument in assisting member states. The other calling to the release is not financial audit, but a system audit that will assess the land. And now, away from Liberia, the BBC is reporting that a Zimbabwean lawmaker who was in Zimbabwe had been arrested following a bullet on his hair, according to the BBC. On a note, that's how we draw down the curtains on today's presentation of the program News Desk. But before we go, a recap of the headlines. Lead Director General Designate Anthony Sewell attributes increase in drugs activities to political interference and the power of drug traffickers in the country, vows to rid Liberia of illicit drugs if confirmed. In the controversial decision, majority bloc of the House of Representatives removed Speaker and elects Representative Richard Cohn on white ballot as new Speaker of the House of Representatives as a battle Speaker Kofa challenges the decision. Criminal Cassie George Blamo Dixon denies prosecution request to subpoena LRA to testify in a criminal trial involving 5 former officials of the George Weah administration. And away from home, the BBC is reporting that a Zimbabwean lawmaker with bonneted on his hair has been arrested in Zimbabwe. Zambia authorities have said. Many thanks to our contributor, correspondent, and news reporter for making this edition a success. Many thanks to our sponsors, Orange Liberia and EcoBank Liberia Limited. Manning, the Torgbean Sara Control coordinated the sound. I presented. My name is Edwin Battaforyen. Have yourself a God blessing Friday weekend from RCA.
Ria TV, True FM.
Say Ria TV, True FM.
On Ria TV,
into Truth FM 96.1.
What's the meaning of the black barrel?
The black barrel is to tell Joseph Bakala, if you don't organize yourself in a grateful manner, we'll keep your later Liberia.
You might say what you want to say, but for us, we are here to make sure we build our country, that we are respected. We have donors that are coming because of the confidence.
News summary of 12. My name is Hansen Der Represent.
Welcome to News and Analysis, 30 minutes of news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and our one world.
Presenting this newscast is proudly sponsored by Orange Liberia and EcoBank Liberia Limited.
How is life after the presidency?
But before the presidency, the same life, that's what you see. I live a different life. You know, when I was not president, this life, that's what I live, you know, with my family and
I have a lot of interest in the health sector, the educational sector, and the agriculture sector. Roads, connecting roads.
Yeah, we are calling international community to come to intervene for us because, like I just stated previously, we don't know who to trust.
Always make sure to turn on to our
Ria TV and listening to Truth FM 96.1.